what do you have to say about the shutdowns of wrestling shows?
I don't like it. I think I've been victim to shows being shut down, and I know what it is like when a show is shut down and the rug is pulled out from underneath you. I experienced it many times when we were running in WOW's territory. I feel it is a complete injustice to the fans, regardless of the reason that a show gets shut down. But I know that there are times there's nothing you can do about it. But you need to be honest with the fans about it. But I do find shutting down a show just for the sake of saving money, or because you don't feel like it, is an insult to your fans. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, but that is my honest opinion. Now, anybody that tries to get shows shut down for someone else is scum. It's a scummy thing to do for two reasons. One, because you're not the only person that put hard work into a product, and if you're trying to use your pull or dirty tricks to get someone else to have a show shut down, I think that it's a very dirty thing to do, and when you're on the receiving end of it, it's hard. It's hard to deal with. I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, what do you have to say to people who say, "Oh, that's just part of the business"?
Then
dog eat dog world out there.
I think that's a cop out. I think it's well. Let's put it this way. I mean, do you have carpenters or contractors that justify running off with people's money just and say, oh, it's part of the business? It's not business then. You know, if you're in the business to screw other people over, it's not a business. You're talking something totally different. And, you know, I know there's a lot to be said about the wrestling business in general, you know, but I know that there's been a lot of stuff that's gone on locally where people, you know, point fingers and, you know, to one person or another, mm-hmm. saying, oh, this person shut down my show, or blah, 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 this, that, or the other thing. The only thing that I do know is I take things concrete. And a lot of it is just he said, she said. And it's not to take away from probably what is been happening out there and people pulling the rug out from underneath other people. But I would say, too, in the end, that if you have a solid enough product and what you're putting out there, if you're on a good standing, you shouldn't be susceptible to that type of stuff. So, again, it kind of falls back into everything happens for a reason. And sometimes I do believe in karma. I think if people are doing stuff like that, they're going to get what's coming to them. And I've kind of seen some of that already happen. I'm not going to say any, wow. But,
very subtle.
Yeah, so, yeah. No good can come of it. That's all I'm saying.
It only hurts the fans.
Yeah.
And the workers.
Yeah. If you get someone's shows canceled, you know, you're doing two things. You're screwing over the boys because they're not going to get their paydays, they're not going to get their chance to shine, and then you're screwing over the fans, whether they, and let's be honest, most of the people in this area are fans of more than one Fed. I don't know anybody that just goes to one Fed and is only a fan of that Fed. So I do obviously have my own perspectives on when wrestlers should be working for this Fed or another Fed and everything like that, because I'm a firm believer, and to have a successful product you need to have your own, you know, exclusive elements and things like that. But at the same point in time, you know, if a show gets canceled, it's the boys don't get paid, the fans don't get to see wrestling, and then it also takes away from your own shows. Because let's just say you're running your own show, and now someone has this perspective, all those indie feds, all they do is cancel their shows all the time. Or they say they're going to bring in this star or that star, and then so they don't show up. It delegitimizes everybody.
Yeah.
So why even bother? I mean, what is so important in someone's life to sit and try and do that to someone else. Why not just, tend to thine own self? Instead of, if your product is not strong enough to stand up on its own two legs, you're not going to make it stronger by trying to knock someone else's leg out from underneath them.
Mm-hmm.
Stand on your own two legs.
If there's nothing to worry about, why are you sabotaging other people?
Exactly.
Okay.